process that they have been denied up until this point. I need more people. I'm a stay-at-home mom. I have 4 kids. I'm doing as much as I can like everybody else is, but if you want to be on the list, we'll get you trained, we'll get you a badge, and you can sit in. All you do literally is take notes. You're the eyes of the people. We really need, if we could leave this today with maybe 40 people on the list, we'll get you lined up with National Liberty Alliance. And we'll be able to move forward in making sure that this goes the way that it's supposed to go. So please sign the petitions, take the Constitution, get the inmate information so you know how to support the people that are being held. They need our support, you guys. They need our support. Okay, we stand together or we what? I'm not one for hanging. I don't want to hang. So please, 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 everybody here has to do their part. So we're going to go ahead, we're having a little problems with media, but we are going to introduce Rich Moreland. He was on the ground in Burns. He's a rancher. He knows what's been going on, and we also have Tom Davis here, who's from Burns, who's going to speak to us on behalf of some of that, and then we're going to move into some of the awesome political support we have. You guys, please vote for these people that are here representing us. They represent the Constitution. They support our rights. Lavoie's family wants this done right, okay? They took the stance at the refuge. They brought national attention to what's going on. After Ferguson, you guys can all go and watch the video that recently was put out of Obama and what he said after those riots and the destruction of police vehicles and everything. And he said this on the news. He said that the protesters had to do what they did, something to those effects, to bring attention to the injustice that they were going through, that they were under, okay? So our men brought attention to the injustice. We're not calling for that to happen now. We all have a part we have to play, and the Finicum family and the Bundy family wants us to do it right. The first step is to not stand alone, be united. The second step is to get our elected officials representing us, right? So let's vote in the elected officials that are going to represent the Constitution and our rights. That's how we're going to turn this around right now, guys. We're not opposing war. We're not to that place. God forbid we end up there, but right now we all have a place to play. We all have a role to play. So please stand up and do your part, okay? The Patriots did their part. Ammon Bundy did his part. Lavoie Finicum did his part. Ryan Bundy did his part. Cliven Bundy did his part. It's time for us to do our part. I don't know if you guys saw my Facebook post, but it was beautiful because it's a group of all different colored people sitting underneath a Monopoly board. They're holding it up for all the politicians to play their game. And it says, all we have to do is stand. Really? And their little game is over. This isn't about arms. This isn't about battle. This is about we the people using the voices that our founding fathers gave us. If you don't use your voice and our rights will be removed. The day is coming when we will not be able to do this. So please use the rights that men and women died to give us. We have the right to speak. We have the right to be heard. We have the right to change the court of public opinion and to let people see that we are not terrorists. I am a law-abiding, tax-paying, God-fearing patriot. Citizen.
Amen.
All right. I need Rich Moreland, and I need Tom Davis to come up. We're going to ignore the blowhorns. They want to drown people's free speech out. We want them to do what they are allowed legally to do, and if they're going to blow those horns at us, we support their right to do what they're doing. So just ignore them, please, as best as you can, and focus. Rich, Tom Davis.
Would you please come up front? Honor to introduce a father, a husband, a grandfather, a veteran. He is running for our next governor, and he hopes to be the first governor in 30 years to be our Republican representative. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Bruce Cupp.
Here he comes. was going to have a couple other guys speak before me, so. Well, you guys see the slogan, right? Enough is enough, it's time for Bruce Cuff. So I just give you a little history of that. About 3 o'clock in the morning, about 4 years ago, I woke up in the morning and John Kitzhoffer had been elected to his 3rd term in office. And for some reason, I was mad as a hornet. And I couldn't figure out why. And I was looking at myself in the mirror, and this just kind of dropped into my heart. It was like, enough is enough, it's time for Bruce Cuff. And I said it out loud twice, and I'm looking at myself in the mirror, and I'm going, God, are you telling me you want me to run for governor? And basically the answer was yes. So this was 4 years ago. So I ran 2 years ago, but you know, God has put all these things into place so that, you know, I focused on Eastern Oregon, Southern Oregon last time, and I've got a lot of support out there from you guys. A lot of you guys are from over there, so, but I just want to talk a little bit about Lavoie. The reason he came here was because of the Hammonds, and you know, and I think if you look at that case, the federal judge, when he decided that he wasn't going to send these guys to prison for 5 years, what he was doing was saying that the terrorist statute should not be applied, and what he actually sentenced them under was the BLM statute, which had a maximum sentence of a year, right? So he actually changed, he used 2 words, he said 2 terms. He said this would shock the conscience to send them to jail for 5 years for these 2 fires, and then it would be cruel and unusual punishment. And of course, what did they get charged with? Arson, right? How many arsonists do you know that actually put out their own fires? None. You know, it's ridiculous. So, I mean, I think the American people can see that. So we're going to work on getting that. But part of the things that's happening in America right now has to do with where do our rights come from? Right? They come from God. So they're written in the Constitution, you know, and they're spelled out there. But there are a lot of people in this country that do not believe anymore there is a God. So if they don't believe there's a God, then what does that tell you about what they believe about your inalienable rights? You don't really have them. So if they decide that you don't get them, you ain't getting them. So anyway, we need this to have, we need to kind of push back and say, hey, you know, we the people believe in God, and these rights are inalienable. So Alan told me I better write something down so I don't wander, so I'm going to look at my notes here. Oh, and what this issue was about over there had to do with property rights. I'm a real estate agent, been doing that for 15 years. I raised my hand and I said, I will protect people's property rights. And I've been talking to the real estate agency, and I've been saying, look, my broker, and I've been saying, this is a fight we should be into. So when you look at these rights that these ranchers have, their water rights, their grazing rights, these are rights that they have that they've established by use. And the BLM does not have the right to come in there and restrict these. These are actual real property rights that they have. And so just because they pay a grazing fee does not mean they're a renter. These are actual property rights that should not be infringed upon. And that's what most people don't think. Well, if they're renting that land, they're not renting that land. They own the rights to that grass, right? So they have the right. And once these laws are passed and these rights are established, even when they pass a new law later on down the road, there's always a provision in there that it doesn't change the existing rights that already exist. And that's where BLM is messing up, and that's where the U.S. Forest Service is messing up. And the land that is in Oregon belongs to Oregonians. So we've got to speak that loud and clear. When we became a state, 53% of our land is currently managed by the federal government. That, you know, I mean, I don't know if you guys saw the Facebook thing, but there was a note in there that said that Alaska was looking at buying the land back from the federal government, you know, for a couple $1 million. And my post was basically this: the land belongs to the state. Why should you be buying it back from the federal government? Yeah. I said, you just go to the sign, you take the national off the sign, and you replace it with state. Done. Yeah. So we just have to push that and push that and push that. and we can get that done. And you know, we need to do this in a civilized manner. We got the folks in Utah, Ken Ivory and the American Lands Council. They're working to try to get the western states are getting together and lobbying our congressional leadership so that they can actually say, okay, look, we're backing out of this thing. And we got presidential candidates that are going to do that thing. So they're going to get this done. But we just need to stand vigilant. We need to elect people to office, and I'm hoping I'm your choice, because the people got to speak. If the people speak, we win. So, Ronald Reagan used to say, you can always trust the people. Listen to the people. So that's what we're about. And you guys know, when I'm posting things on Facebook, I have people ask me questions. Are you for real? Man, you're like making total sense here, and you believe like I believe. And sometimes to convince these folks that, yeah, I really do believe this thing. I'm not just saying this because you think I'm a politician, because I'm not. I'm a realtor. My dad was a barber for 40 years. I sat in that barber shop and I listened to the businessmen and the ranchers and the farmers come in there and talk about how they can fix state government. So we have some common sense solutions, and we can fix this state. But, you know, and we got to stand together. And you guys are, and, you know, Second Amendment, right? These guys were exercising their Second Amendment rights. And I'm sure there's a lot of you guys out there, including myself, who are exercising our Second Amendment rights right now. Yeah. Right? You know, I don't want to see a raise of hands of how many guys are concealed today, but I know they're out there, and so I feel real safe.
Yes, sir.
You should too. You should too, right? Because, you know, just because somebody has weapons does not mean they're a terrorist, and that's the narrative. You know, these guys were armed. They took this place over. They're armed. That means they're dangerous. They're terrorists. Wrong. You know, that narrative has to be changed. We have the right to protect ourselves. If you read in the Federalist Papers, number 46 in the Federalist Papers, it states that the reason Madison believed that the federal government would never take over like they're doing right now, the reason that Madison said that they're not going to be able to do that is because the people are armed. That's the point, right? So our Second Amendment rights, unalienable right, you know, we'll stand by that. So I'm not sure how much time I got. I'm close to the end, they said. What about the what? Yeah, we got some folks coming here that we're not quite sure whether they're terrorists or not. And you know, as a state, they're going to send folks in here, and I'll just tell you, we need our law enforcement folks to make sure that wherever those folks go, they're vetted somehow, because the feds aren't going to do it. So we need our law enforcement folks on board. What we need in Oregon right now is we need 36 constitutional sheriffs in every single county that is protected. So we don't need the federal government coming in with the FBI. You know, if the FBI is armed, the BLM's armed, the U.S. Forest Service armed, the Fish and Wildlife guys are armed, the state police are armed. Well, guess what? The chief law enforcement officer in the state of Oregon is that county sheriff. And he needs to know that we're expecting him as citizens to protect us from the feds, from the state, everyone. So when it comes to exercising police rights within that county, the state, the federal government, they all better be talking to the sheriff. And just like Sheriff Palmer in Grant County, where he shut the U.S. Forest Service down and said, look, you're not exercising police powers in my county, that's what we need. So I understand that Sheriff Mack, I think they're working on getting the thing set up where he's going to come to Prineville, Crook County, like the 25th of March, okay, which is Good Friday, right? I can't think of a better day to have him come than on Good Friday, because that's when our Lord and Savior was crucified. I'm not sure why we call it good sometimes, other than he shed his blood for us, right? That's why it's good. But you know, that's a great day to get together and have him speak. So put that on your calendar, and I don't think they quite finalized that yet, but they will. And if you guys all show up and they don't have it need a bigger venue, that would be wonderful, wonderful. So thanks for coming out today, and man, I can't tell you how much your support means. All right, and I got bumper stickers. Make sure you get bumper stickers. Everybody got one? Raise your hand. Who's got the bumper stickers? Okay, so who's got the box that's got the bumper stickers in it? Okay, so if you haven't got a bumper sticker, right over here, get you one. All right. I do. The website's www.timeforcuff.org, and it's right there on a bumper sticker. Well, it's not .org on the bumper sticker, but it says, you know, enough. Time for Cuff, Governor. Okay, so anyway, thank you.